Miami going to Cal, 10:30 Eastern, ESPN, College Game Day. Going to Cal Berkeley, that'll be fun. I'm curious to see what the turnout is for the folks out there in Northern California. If you're Cal, man, this is a chance to make a statement. I mean, as of right now, like Cal is rolling. I mean, they had their loss to Florida State, but overall, I think Cal's done a pretty decent job making a statement to the ACC. Like, all right, we're here. We're here. Now, if you really want to make a statement, you do so with College Game Day in town, with the top 10 team coming to you. This has Marshall Mathers kind of game written all over it, if you're Cal. This is the one now. You got your one chance, your one opportunity. Would you take advantage of it or let it slip away? All right, this is the lose yourself kind of game. For those of y'all that have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Big opportunity for Cal. Now, the spread in this game, it opened at 12.5, all right? It has since been plummeting. Right now, Miami is favored by 10.5 points. So that's how we're going to break this game down. The lower third says 12.5. It's down to 10.5, just so we're on the same page here. Now, if you're Miami, I think there's a lot of folks that are concerned about them after the Virginia Tech game. And, we're going to see how fair that concern is because we hated last week's spot. We talked a lot about Va Tech, one of the better two-loss teams in the country coming in, had lost 2 games by 3 points, Friday night action. Miami hadn't played anybody in a while. Like, there was a lot of things that made that a tough spot for Miami. There's a lot of things that make this a tough spot for Miami, too. Emotional game after the Friday night game against Va Tech where you have a Hail Mary. You think you lost the game, called a touchdown on the field. You overturn it after a review. Like, there's a lot that goes into this now. Also, you got to go from one coast all the way to the other. Literally from South Florida to Northern California. Welcome to college football in 2024. Also, a very, very late kick. Shouts to our guy, Josh Pate. College football sickos, make sure you are subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. It's college football, nothing but college football. Game predictions like this one, analysis, instant reactions, everything that you love about college football without the hot takes and clickbait and traffic, we do that here. So we appreciate y'all being dialed in. The Hard Count is brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. $5 in lineups when you play code HARDCOUNT. Wins you $50 in promo funds. Fade or follow us if you want to. We got plays throughout the week on this channel, but we're hot right now, so go ahead and follow us. Again, code HARDCOUNT, $5 played in lineups, gets you $50 in promo funds, even if you don't win, just for playing. We appreciate y'all. Now back to the prediction. Miami played poorly and won last game. They cannot play poorly and win against Cal. I think Cal's defense is too good. I think they have too many weapons offensively, very, very sneaky. We'll talk about Jadyn Ott here in a second. Miami cannot play poorly and win, especially not after what they showed last week. And Miami, if you want to lose this game, just do exactly what you did last week. Slow start, 3 turnovers, can't stop the run, allow 200 yards rushing, just kind of lackadaisically float through that first half. If you want to do that, you're going to lose this football game. It's going to be a very long flight back to South Florida, all right? This will be the best defense, I believe, that Miami has played against to this point in the year. They're allowing less than 300 total yards per game is Cal, 4.3 yards a play allowed. That's top 15 in America. So what I'm trying to say here is if you get down like you did against Virginia Tech, one, you're on the road, and we'll see what Cal's environment is like in this game. But I promise you, if there's a game, if you're Cal Berkeley, that you're getting up for, it's this one. So on the same page. This defense, I think, is too talented to be able to surge against and go score that many unanswered, is what I'm trying to get across here. Very, very tough to have the overdrive factor. Cal's defense, the secondary, is only allowing 170 yards per game. Top 25 in America. Now, this game could legitimately hinge, if you're Cal, on the legs of Jadyn Ott. Been dinged up a little bit this year, starting to get back healthy. He averaged 6 yards a touch in 2023, did the Cal Berkeley running back. And if he gets rolling, that's where the snowball effect could really kick in here. Because again, Miami, they struggled against the run last week, allowed 200 yards. If Jadyn Ott gets rolling, guess what happens? Miami has to start rolling up, try to stack the box. Other plays open up downfield. And Cal, I don't know if they're world beaters offensively, but they got enough guys now to hurt you, again, if you leave them in man-to-man coverage. We've seen that. Ask Auburn about that one. Now, here's the question. Do we see the new Miami that we've talked about really since the Florida game? And the new Miami is good culture, disciplined, play to their standard, not the logo. And there was a bit of a letdown last week against Va Tech. Now, letdowns can do two things, especially when you win. If you play poorly and win, two things can happen. The first is you feel relief. Okay, that was bad. We're okay. We're still who we think we are. Don't worry about it. Next game, that wasn't us. Friday night, you make excuses. You talk about why it made sense for you to play poorly, and then you move on, and then guess what happens? Usually you get beat, all right? Now, what also can happen when you play poorly and win, in good locker rooms, in good cultures, creates a fire underneath. It creates a sense of urgency. Whoa, hey, that you looked your mortality in the face, probably should have lost that football game in some respects, depending on what you think about that Hail Mary that was overturned. That creates some extra juice. Say, hey, we got to get back, right? Y'all, that's not us. We can't play that way. If we play that way again, we lose the football game, all right? Good. I mean, coaching staffs are always, I think, speaking to the right things, but it is a whole nother deal for a player-led organization to embody what the coaches are saying, if that makes sense. Now, if I'm Miami, I have two reasons for confidence going into this game. One, Cal is allowing a sack rate of 12%. That is some of the worst in the country. So again, if Jadyn Ott gets rolling, that very much so limits the amount of times they have to drop back and deal with what they have up front. But again, sack rate of 12%, it's tough to get on board with. The other thing, and this is probably as impactful, maybe the most impactful for me when I'm talking about this game, I think Cam Ward is just wired differently. I do, and I think as poorly as he played in the first half, give that dude a lot of credit because he came back out and was swinging. We said it on our reaction video on Sunday morning. The psychopathic nature to be under duress and to throw a Dr. Pepper scholarship game kind of chest pass. For those of y'all that got that reference, great. If you didn't, don't worry about it. To have the confidence and just the borderline crazy mental state to throw that football that direction in that situation told me everything I need to know about how he's wired. And so I get he's super nonchalant. There's some things, if you're a Miami fan, that you say, I'd like to see him maybe, take better care of the football in that situation. Totally fair. But I think as much as he's wired competitively, that's going to permeate throughout this locker room. I think that will help them rebound from the game against Vatech. I think Miami gets it done on the road. I think they win. I think they cover the 10.5. We'll see how this moves when it comes to game time. It could keep going down. We'll see if it shoots back up at all. I think Miami wins this game 31-20. So they cover the 10.5. If you got it at 12.5, I wouldn't feel as good about that. Again, the spot, the location, the nature of the travel and the kick, all those things, I think Miami does win the football game. I think they score 31 doing so. And I think you survive in advance if you're the Canes and find a way to right the ship after the poor showing against Virginia Tech.